Welcome back to the Business Spotlight. I'm Pat Dewar. Today we've got a great show going about creating wealth that's transgenerational. When you think about creating a nest egg for your grandchildren's children, most people don't think that long term. But you know what? The uber wealthy do, and they always have. They've understood that little by little, bit by bit, you can create wealth. And my guest today is Kasandra Vitacca, and she's on a mission to help others begin to embrace a new way of, well, maybe an old way of thinking about money. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Kasandra, I want to get into the clients that tend to work with you.
Okay.
Who are some of the clients that begin to get it? Because you're talking about something that is a system of savings that's a little unique, but has extreme consequences in a good way if
Sure.
you do it right.
Sure. You know, that question is the question of, you know, what's your ideal client, right?
Sure.
And actually, I was going over this with a group of my colleagues yesterday, as a matter of fact, to define that. And for some folks, I know they want you to tell you, okay, that 35 to 55 range. And honestly, from a demographic perspective, it's kind of a lot of my clients. They kind of hang out in that space. And there's a reason why the 35 to 55, 60 makes sense, because they're kind of still in what's called accumulation phase.
Sure.
And that 50-ish range, at 55, is starting to go, they're starting to end the accumulation, or at least they want to.
Right.
But there's still this idea that we're still in accumulation, we're still growing, and so their mind is prepared for that. Definitely someone, but I'm going to be less, you know, demographic oriented, because yeah, we can say, you know, 35 to 55, married with kids and a dog, and, you know, goes to church on Sunday. I mean, we can make these things, plays baseball, I don't know, we can make stuff up, right? The reality is this: the type of person that works best with me, oftentimes, and this becomes a little more, again, that gray area, it is someone who doesn't think they already have all the answers,
Right.
has enough humility to recognize that they may not know everything. Because the reality is, you're going to be humbled, because
Right.
I'm going to tell you about things that you did or are doing that aren't the best.
Right.
I'm going to be nice about it, but I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to point out why the contracts where you have placed your money, people have buckets of money. They have buckets of where they're putting play. I wouldn't, and they don't even know why. When I ask them, why are you doing that? Did you read the contract? Do you understand what happens when you try to get the money? They honestly have no idea. And it's not their fault, you know, and I really try to help people understand it's okay. You are where you are. People have debt and they're embarrassed. So, but we're going to have honest conversations about it. It's not about judgment. It's about, let's have an honest conversation about it. So someone needs to be ready to have an honest conversation about where they are.
So I hear that you're working with people that are not so much demographic, it's psychographic. It's
Yes.
the idea that they're willing to learn, they understand that you've got a system,
Yes.
a tool,
Yes.
that if employed, so to speak, if used, it could change their life. Is that what I'm hearing?
Absolutely.
So how long does something like this take to really get going for somebody?
Because it is a learning process, from the moment when I'm meeting somebody and they sit down and have a conversation, we're going to talk for an hour and a half just to get to know each other.
Right.
Because here's the reality: I don't work with everybody, and not everybody wants to work with me.
Right.
I make it real clear to people, this is true partnership. I'm going to be your family financial, your CFO for your family, you know?
Right.
And you'll get more out of me if you allow me to be that.
Right.
You know? If you put me into a box and let me just do one little piece of your life for you, you can do that. I mean, I work with financial products and tools. I can get you one of those tools and maybe you'll be a little bit better off, but I really am more holistic than that. So it's about, do you really want to let me in, you know, at that level? So it's going to be about an hour to an hour and a half the first time. You know, it goes longer just because we're talking so much. But there's been an hour time. When the person, if they decide to come back, it's because they're coming back with their information.
Right.
They're ready to show me, what do they have? What are their assets and their liabilities? What are their hopes and their dreams? Because that matters.
Right.
And let me make a statement here because it's important. Their hopes and dreams are more important than really where all their buckets are. Because money is not math. Money is human behavior. If you study economics, which I did, it sits in the school of soft sciences. It's not a hard science. I'm a social scientist. So I understand what the people are going through. They have to be willing to let me in on that process as well with them.
Right.
So the second time we're going to sit down and go over lots of numbers. We're still not done because we still got to come back. There's still other processes. It's a good 6-hour process, not all at once, but it's a 6 to 10 hour learning process before they're ever doing anything with their money.
So what I'm hearing, though, is that you're doing a lot more than just, I want to say you're educating
Yes.
in a way that's changing a mindset. You're literally going through the process of shifting them off of the historical
Yes.
patterns and programming to something that is longer term.
Yes.
So that's something that's a real mind shift, and a lot of people don't get that. I know as we go into this next segment, you guys are going to really want to learn more about what Kasandra does to help you reach your long-term goals. This is Pat Dewar. We'll be right back.
You can become a published author. Discover a system that will lead you from idea to having your book on the bookshelves. Bob Baer pulls back the curtain at the More Power to Publish workshop. Watch and learn how to follow the step-by-step plan to turn your idea into a published book. Learn more at morepowertopublish.com.